Hey, welcome back to the Knox Hollow Wood Shop, where we make crazy things. Usually a mess, but occasionally we make some pretty cool other things too. Before we get too deep into this video, how about a quick word from our sponsor? Wait, I don't have a sponsor. But good news, we have just been able to monetize the shop, or the channel, which means that you can be a sponsor. All you have to do is jump down there and become a member of the channel. And I've kept the member prices pretty low, but yeah, if you would like to support the channel for as little as $1 a month, you can get some perks, and we do have some other levels that you can get more perks as well. But yeah, it'll really help support the channel. So if you check that out down there at the bottom, and it's really easy to get set up. So, anyways, we are back in the wood shop making wands, and I've already again skipped ahead to the good part where we're just shaping the handle of this wand, and this is a maple, and maple is a really nice go-to wood for me. This particular wand, I want to do some Slytherin house colors for. So the maple is going to be nice because it's going to allow me to dye the wood. So we've got the shaft turned down to the right size so I could get that up in the jaws, and I've done that off camera because that saves time, and it's pretty boring, and it's pretty much the same for every wand. Um, the shape on this is not terribly complicated, so I've got that already kind of broken down and sanded up partially, and then we're gonna do our wire friction burn into in between each section to kind of define that, and that's going to help when I put the die in there. So now that that's done, we'll part off the little tenon on the end of the pommel here, and then we'll get that sanded up. So if you guys are enjoying these videos, I know that a lot of the viewers that I have are not subscribed to the channel. If you want to take a moment and just kind of slide down right there, and you can hit the subscribe button, and if you ring that bell, then you'll get notified every time that I've got a new video for you. Or or a post or something. So that's always appreciated. And even if you can't support the channel with a membership, you can always give me a thumbs up. That's free, and it takes about a half a second to do. And those thumbs up really do help so that other people can see the video as well. So now what we're going to do on this, I've got the indexing wheel on here, and I've kind of done my typical grid on the handle, and I'm using that to lay out some spirals on there because what I want to do on this is I want to put a silver paint inlay in there, and in order to do that, I'm going to wood burn these lines so that the lines are inset into the wood, and that's going to help with that the paint. I use the paint pen on on that, and I've done this before in a couple of other videos, so you'll see how that works when we get to it. So yeah, the wood burning maple does work really well with the pyrography tool, and so we get those done, and those go pretty quickly, at least as far as the design itself goes. And then we got to do the sanding, and we're just kind of cleaning up the wood burned area and smoothing all that off and getting the pencil lines and stuff off there. And once that's done, we'll get that all brushed out, and now we get to go with the dye. So this is the leather dye, and I've talked about this in some past videos. When I do want to do some brighter colors on the wood, maple is a really nice pale wood for this, and it works really well with the leather dye. Um, doing the green on here for the Slytherin colors, and the rest of it's going to be black, and this is black leather dye, and the brand I use is Phoebings. I haven't tried any other brands, but I know the Phoebings works really well for me, and since leather work is the other big thing that I do, I have a lot of it. So while that's drying, I thought I would do a little bonus here. This is going to be another quick maple wand. dye has to dry on that for several hours, and then we'll get that cleaned up, and then I have to kind of buff and put a clear coat on the handle. And what I'm trying to do with the clear coat is to put a barrier between the dye and the paint pen so that the paint stays nice and sober. And I'll show you how to get to that. But in order to do that, that has to dry, and then I have to do a clear coat, and that has to dry. So while all that's drying, we're going to do a another maple wand, and this one's not going to be overly fancy. Just a pretty standard maple wand. Turned out pretty nice, but it doesn't have any of the fancy wood burning or colors or anything else on it. So, but you know, most people want just a standard wand. So yeah, we got to keep those in stock as well. So with this one again, kept it pretty simple as far as the blade goes, and getting just starting off the video with working on the handle shaping. And maple's a really nice wood to work with, just because it polishes up so nicely. It cuts really nice. The only thing that I'm not a huge that doesn't seem to work as well with it is the doing the burning. It does a wire burn pretty well, but the friction burning has a little bit of a problem. It doesn't burn evenly with the friction. So but like I said, you can see the wire works really quite well in this. So when it comes to color changing, there's only a couple of ways that I found that works really well, and one of them is a torch, and that works pretty good. I'm just using a piece of scrap here. What I'm trying to do is kind of guide the heat just between those two lines, and that actually worked pretty well. You can use piece. If you use metal, then it can heat up in your hands, and so that's why I used a piece of scrap wood. But as you can see, that darkens it to a nice sort of a chocolatey, dark chocolate brown there, and that works a lot better than the friction burn does. So now that that's done, we're going to part off the tenon here. And of course, once this is off, you'll see one of the downsides about using a torch or using heat like that. It can cause the wood to go under tension, and you'll see it's just once this comes off, how it's a little bit off center, and that's just there's not really a lot you can do about that when you heat that wood up. So sometimes that happens. So it's small enough that you can't really tell unless it's turning like this. I've got it turned on a slow speed, and you can see it has a little bit of a wobble. But we're going to go ahead and again use the torch on this pommel so that we have a little bit of continuity in the color. And then we'll clean that off with the wire brush. And then we just start moving into the sanding phase. And as you can see, it's already starting to take a shine. So once this gets all polished up, then we'll go ahead and get it oiled and waxed and everything. I don't think that I didn't bother taking any final pictures of this. This is just kind of something I threw it in while I was doing the other wand. I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and do this one as well. And I thought I'd give you all a chance to see that. But yeah, turned out pretty nice. This is the oil finish on it. Once the oil dries, we'll get a wax on it. But as you can see, it really richened up the colors with that oil finish. So now we're back with our original wand here, and as you can see, it's really shiny on the handle. I've got that clear coat, and I'm just using this Pilot. It's just a fine point silver paint marker, and I am running that into the grooves. And one of the reasons that I put the grooves in there is to kind of control where that paint goes. And it's really tough to make those lines perfectly straight. And as you can see, there's places where it kind of comes off. So what we do after that dries is we'll hit the high points with the sandpaper. And this is a really fine grit sandpaper because remember, we've already got a clear lacquer coat finish on this. And so by sanding that, any of the paint that was a little bit too high up on those edges is going to get cleaned back off there. And then I took this all the way up to 2500 grit. So it's got a much cleaner lines there. And then, yeah, all we're going to do after this, I just got to finish doing my clear coat on the handle and the shaft. And this is what that looks like. This is with the lacquer finish. As you can see, you can still see the grains of the wood and those green the beads. So you can still really still see that wood grain. It looks nice, but that black dye really worked out really nice. And you get a good shiny finish on that with the lacquer. So hope you enjoyed this one, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.